We have a text. He said, come on back. She'll like that.
Oh, here.
Sir, how are you? I'm great. How are you doing?
I just take some Travis with me. If he doesn't answer the phone, I just hold on to it. I'm sure what he does. So it's making knocking on your door.
Yeah. I get a call. Oh, good. Yeah, perfect. Everybody have one?
Just you right now.
Okay. Oh, I just crap. These probably takes. I could have got out in a few weeks.
Okay.
So you know.
Okay.
I received one scene that I'm at. I saw him at Johnstown. Yeah, she was there with her. She was talked about it. It's like that time she was having a weekend at Johnstown, sitting by a concert. And she was there.
Yep.
But that was the thing was, Alice Cooper was just there. And I wanted to go on Sunday. And I didn't. I was kicking myself. And I was kind of kicking myself about going, but they got a lot this year. For them, it's a lot. That's a nice little building they have. Well, now that you have top masters in hockey, that's starting up soon. It's a junior. And these kids, there's like 15, 16-year-old kids. These kids are good. Yeah, like these young prospects are like 15 years old. Like these kids are good. But they grow well. They play like 2,000 games, 2,000 or 3,000 games.
Can't be that big.
I forget for hockey, maybe 4.
I'm driving from the house. I'm nice place to go. I'm going to Chester.
They draw all the time.
Yep.
I don't go all that much. If you get tickets, like I'll get them. I won't pay to go. I won't pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm going anyway.
They left it here. I know they disappeared for homes here. One thing too, I texted Andy, he was good call, Eddie. I wouldn't either. No. Hey, Jen, we left before they started the movie. How did it show up on the screen? Is it bright enough?
Yeah, it was, yeah, it was good. Yeah, we did a nice time. The field was, we were soaked by the time it was over. You didn't think like we should have put down a tarp before we put down the blankets because, you know, it rained so much, but yeah.
They came up through the ground and got you wet.
Oh, yeah.
It rained all the time.
No, it didn't rain, but it rained before, and it was just so good. Yeah, it was nice.
We were there until the movie started.
Oh, yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I thought there would have been a lot more people there, but my grandson enjoyed it, and that's the latest I've been up. That was only till like 11. I don't stay up late.
I tried to get Greg out there dancing.
Yeah, right. So did I. Oh, I think you were with Jeannie.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I said the same thing. You
I
wouldn't do
heard
it.
joke that they have breakfast in the township and they go to bed in the city or something like that. 'Cause I'm not living in
Or you were out there.
No, we were out. We were in Providence.
They had, like, some other things, but it was still light out for the kids to do, like, for the sandlot. Coming from the 90s, maybe the 80s. But the kids that built the Sandlot, one was a ball player, one comes an announcer. They get the ball in and end up being basically small. And the guy stole, the kid stole his dad's baseball from soccer stadium. And the beast got a big, fearsome dog. Oh, it's quite a very smooth dog.
How are you?
Buddy, how are you doing?
Nice. Nice chance. Might have them someday. French chicken or class too. I was just going to look at that here. Because the loan goes from, they were made like 14, 15, so
Six-ish to 10.
I didn't bring this with me. I remember one. In Rhode Island, that's a bad idea. They can get away with it here. They were in trouble. Because they used to be, because I remember when you come to the Yankee conference, when the Delaware and team was great. And they only what is that song? You know what? You know what they're going to send? They're trying to that was the idea when they were closing down the old stadium, and it was terrible. Actually, as far as 2023, the province because they were going to put the stadiums like the province like the 95 it's set right there.
Yeah, it's hard to, you know, actually the projector is a hot spot.
I can't hear
Sort of.
Give me this. That's where you come.
Good evening, everybody. Please rise for pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing on the agenda tonight, I'll ask council for a motion to excuse Councilwoman Bernardo. She's we'll excuse her until she
Make a motion.
Second motion.
We have a motion for a proper second to excuse Councilwoman Bernardo. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Achenbach.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Approval of minutes, City Council meeting minutes, August 14th. Council's wishes.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Motion on the floor, properly second to approve the minutes for City Council meeting on August 14th, 2023. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Achenbach.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. And the work session, August 24th. Council's wishes.
Motion to approve? Second.
Motion on the floor, properly second to approve the minutes for the work session, August 24th. Any questions? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Achenbach.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Registry of invoices. Council's wishes.
I make a motion we pay the bills.
Yeah, I do have a question, though.
Oh, that's right. You are correct.
Hello? Okay, very good. Okay, Jimmy, go ahead.
So in these invoices, there was for life insurance,
insurance?
Life insurance and health insurance,
Yes.
so with the injunction, we have to change the number.
To take out the
Yes.
payment?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll adjust my motion to pay the bills except for anything that includes.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor properly seconded to approve the invoice as presented, excluding any payments that are due to Mr. Spio. I'm sorry?
I can't just not pay healthcare. It has to be offered Cobra. Like, I can't just cancel him because then if he chooses Cobra or if he wins, like, I can hold the check for a little bit, maybe hold the check till after Wednesday, but I can't just not.
We will investigate what we're supposed to do with that.
Okay.
Okay, I just,
We won't make the payment
okay,
for the salary, but we'll check into the health insurance.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Any more questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion. I'm sorry? Okay, the motion's on the floor is to pay all bills as presented, with the exception of any items on the auto pay that were due to Mr. Simplesio.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
we'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Come
Yes.
Singer.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes. Public comments. Ms. Jones.
So, and take us back here a little bit. 2020, May, we had a letter in the paper on concerned citizen. Y'all remember that? And our solicitor, the city has nothing to hide, and she wants that criminal charges be brought if warranted. So let's see, there's a grand jury investigation, last year, correct me if I'm wrong, Herm found out he would indict, December? This year, what happened? Herm's still working, Herm's still getting paid. The citizens have come, we've asked you to do the right thing numerous times. And here we are, we have formed a committee, we filed an injunction against you. And now we've been subpoenaed along with the solicitor to testify Wednesday. Are you willing at this point to do the right thing? Because you have to realize we're not backing down. We've asked, we've begged you to do the right thing, and we filed an injunction, and we're going to continue the fight. And you have all been subpoenaed, so it should be interesting Wednesday. And Mr. Simplesio was also subpoenaed. So we've asked you to do the right thing, and you've yet to do it. We're asking you again. Just do the right thing for the citizens that elected you, is all we ask. Thank you.
Anybody else? Mr. Jones.
Can you explain to me verbally the right to know stuff? What do I have to do to request stuff? Just a letter from me in writing, or do you have a special form?
There's a form on the website. Yep, you can get form on our
On the City
website.
of DuBois website?
Yep, there's also one on the Office of Open Records from Pennsylvania.
Okay, well, my concern is, I have a good friend who retired and left here and is in Florida, and he's the vice president of a prominent insurance company. And he gets the Courier, and he said, quote, "I just read the Courier article on the meeting Monday regarding the pension changes Simplesio supported. I ran a pension plan for many years. The changes he made, even though with support of the union and employees, violates his fiduciary responsibility to the plan. Changing the unit credit to 2.5% per year without actuarial analysis is absurd. I hope someone invokes some legal action on these moves. Government plans," and this is where you should pay attention, "government plans are not protected by IRSA or the PBGC," and that's the Employee Retirement Insurance Act or the public whatever. "So the citizens of DuBois will be on the hook for the pension liabilities, or the plan will default, and the courts will decide the resolution, which includes cutting employee benefits." It's a bigger mess than I think everyone understands, just his observation. So I would like to submit a right to know act to ask if a fiduciary or if an actuarial study was done before these changes were made, because you may well have endangered the finances of the entire city by doing this.
So, yeah, the form is on our website, and like I said, there's one on Pennsylvania's Office of Open Records.
Thank you.
We are investigating how things were changed.
Transpired. Thank
And
you.
what we need to do moving forward to fix any problems
it
that may
better.
occur.
Chris, it's also in the lobby.
There's a
There's
form?
There's a
Printed
form in the lobby.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, Linda.
My name is Linda London and I live on Rumbarger Avenue. During the last council meeting on August 14th, there was much discussion and questioning with regard to the city manager's position. I did go back and watch the meeting on the recorded live stream to help me understand some of what was said. Approximately 40 minutes into the live stream, Mayor Walsh said he did some, quote, research about the past contracts. He stated that in 1979, Ron Rich was given a contract. In 1986, Pat Nuzzo was given a contract. In 2001, Ron Trasna was given a contract. And finally, in 2009, Herm Simplizio received his contract. That evening, I was contacted by Mr. Trasna and asked if I would complete a right to know about his specific contract, as he was unavailable to do so in person. I did file the request on Tuesday, August 15th. By the end of that week, I received a response from Business City, which stated, quote, after an extensive search of our city files, it was determined that the requested document does not exist. When we searched the minute, a contract for Mr. Krasner was never mentioned. He was first introduced to the council as city manager April 23rd, 2001. A copy of this letter was sent to the mayor and members of the city council. Ron had in years past shared information with some that he had never had or signed a contract, so he was curious to see what document would be presented. Mr. Trasna was correct in stating he didn't have a contract with the city of DuBois. Yet our mayor, who stated that he did, quote, research, commented otherwise. One issue of concern is how freely things can be stated from people and they are not held accountable for what they say. I do remember speaking earlier this year at a March council meeting and stressing two words to the current mayor, members of the council, and the solicitor. Those two words were awareness and accountability. In light of all that has happened over these past 5 months since that meeting, no one should assume that what is said will necessarily be the truth. I don't enjoy the feeling of being skeptical, but little things like what I have just presented can turn into bigger issues in the overall picture. What has happened to holding morals and telling the truth, no matter who is offended? And secondly, since Mr. Trasna, who preceded Mr. Simplizio as the city manager of DuBois, had no contract, what guidelines or foundation was ever used to create a contract for Mr. Simplizio? It seems clear that the contract creators, whomever they were, felt that the sky was the limit. And most recently, the current council assumed it was time to make that ridiculous payoff, excluding Mr. Riesinger. Am I surprised? No. Am I saddened and discouraged? Yes. However, fortunately, your plans have been halted for the time being.
Thank you. Anybody else? I can't see, yes, Kathleen.
Kathleen Clement, Chestnut Avenue, DuBois. I just have one question. Are you gonna fight the injunction, and if so, why?
I'm going on Wednesday to testify, and I'll answer their questions. I mean, that's all I can tell you. Yes, go out.
I got a few things to talk about. Last time I was here, I asked some questions about the status of the election, and Mr. Z got back to me and said that at the end of 21, I believe the report was March of 22, it was 78% funded with an 8% assumed rate of return. Either one of the numbers is very good. Just put that out there. This is something the county deals with on a regular basis. And anything over 7 is dangerous, and 8 is really high. If you bad market year really can damage the actuary assumption. And anything under 8%, and I start to be worried tonight, and I think we're going to have more discussion on this later, but it was mentioned as I got here that now we're 58%. And folks, that is regular danger. People are not going to get paid if this is up stuff. I mean, I don't know what's going on here, but they'd be running me out down on that. So if we were seeing pension for county employees, it was 58%. These are, I always said, pension is a promise. And it's not a promise to you, it's to everybody came before for the rest of their butts for all these years. You have an obligation to make sure that this shit is fixed. And I don't know, however we got here, I don't know, but you definitely have to take this book by the horn. At 58, that just shocks me. I also want to talk a little bit about what Ms. Bernardo said last week about, and these were her words, 25 straight years of bad audits. And immediately I said, well, we have a city, and she was talking about adding somebody. I said, well, you're the city controller. And I looked up the duties of the city controller, and according to your charter, and it basically says they're supposed to review all warrants for the expenditure of city monies, et cetera, et cetera. Likewise, audit or with consent of council, choose to be made by an accountant, an annual audit. They basically look over and be that check and balance on all the finances of the city. I know our controller in the county, if we started to go off the rails, would say, time out. You can't do this. And here's why. And I don't want to harp on it too much, but the last 3 controllers are in this room. And I just wonder where we're at and how we got here with all this. And finally, I'm going to say, this stuff's been going on for 6 months, 18 if you go back to the initial raid. And all we hear from council basically has been defenses of harm. There's been no talk of real serious review of internal policies. There's been no real acknowledgement of bad practices. And more importantly, no apology to the people of this city. I mean, only doubling and tripling down on bad decisions. The public spoke in May. I mean, we had an election. They made clear what their wishes were. That should have been a message. All these people keep coming every week. That should be a message. When's the message going to get through? I don't get it. Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, young lady.
Hello, my name is Melanie Frank and I am from DuBois. And I am angry, I am frustrated, I am discouraged, and not for the reasons you may think. I just want to understand, when did the actions of one determine everybody else? When did we have this mob mentality where, because of the alleged allegations of Herm, yes, I see you kind of eyeing me down, not concerned about you, you're not intimidating. That being said, what Herm did, right? Do we believe in presumption of innocence? Do we know what that is? Okay, because I should hope none of you are in his position. Don't really care, not concerned about Herm. What I care about is our attitude, the abhorrent disregard for the people up here. They are your neighbors, they are your friends, okay? They're good people. You used to shake their hand and say, hey, Jim, how you doing? Or, hey, Eddie, how are you doing? Okay, we've all just decided we're going to spew this garish demeanor, this hatred for people that don't necessarily deserve it. We are not the judge and jury. We don't get to decide. We're not up there, okay? We can be as ugly and we can be a bully, is what I see from you. I see nothing but a bully mentality, and it's not what city council needs. DuBois doesn't need a bully. We need someone that has a good character, that can be calm, that can treat people with respect. You got to give it to get it, honey. If you want respect from people, you have to give it. And I honestly don't really care, okay, about all the other politics. I just don't understand. If we're going to come together as a community, if we want to be one, like I know a lot of you people, I was born and raised here. The crap on Go DuBois, all that garbage, it's just pitiful. It's pathetic and demeaning and ugly, and it's not necessary, and it's a reflection on you guys, whoever you may be, if the shoe fits. We can do this in a loving way, in a way that represents who we are as a community, instead of being so ugly and hateful. And I get it, I don't know everything that's really going on. I mean, I just kind of started to get involved because of the online presence and how pitiful it is. But we are a group, we are a town. I love this town. I don't understand what the big gripe is, I really don't. I haven't really fully investigated it. But I haven't got to that point because I can't get past all the freaking ugliness of everybody's attitudes and behaviors. Not everybody. And I get we're angry. I get it. The whole Herm thing. He is being prosecuted. We get that, right? Like there's professionals dealing with it. And whenever chips fall where they may, then we can be angry, okay? But let's do good for the community. You can say all you want. You can scream and shout, and you can claim yourself to be a hero, okay? But the actions are what, and if you're gonna be sitting up there, you're gonna get what you give, all right? And you better follow through on the demands you're making because you're setting yourself up for failure, okay? It's easy to stand there and say, I want this, I want that, why is this going on? We're still a community. Love thy neighbor, okay? Like, did we miss that lesson in Sunday school? Some of you. I don't even know who half you people are. All I know is when I look online and I see the bullying and the stupid memes attacking people, it's freaking pathetic. And it's not even well done, honestly. It's comical at best, and it just makes you look stupid. That's all I gotta say. Do better, people in DuBois, because you're all my family, you're my community, and I want my kids to grow up as something beautiful instead of something so ugly.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, Ms. Beck.
I'm going to change the topic a little bit, and I wanted to go back to the July 24th council meeting, and when the Comcast agreement between the franchise and the city residents was approved by council. And as we're all aware, there will be a 5% fee from each Comcast subscriber given by Comcast to the city, which will basically eliminate competition from other cable providers in our community. I am curious as to how many Comcast subscribers are presently under contract in the city. What is the projected dollar amount from the 5% fee that will be awarded to the city? In what account will the money, 5% monies be placed? And at the present time, are there any earmarks scheduled for these monies? Thank you for your time.
For your answer now, or can I answer that right now? I'm good sitting.
Thank you.
Somebody. Yeah, that's it. It's not exclusive, but I'll leave it for you guys. Anybody else?
Danny Grubbin voice. I wrote down a few things here, and I just want to kind of address them. Actually, it's a positive note. Okay? As you all know, hopefully you know, I ran the Music Fest concerts in the park this year for 2023, and past Thursday was the final concert. I want to thank the council for finding the funding for all these groups. Dan Walsh provided the sound, and everybody worked with me to make these concerts possible. I brought some new groups this year and tried to give the people a variety of music, different things like Rock Dixieland, polkas, different things like that. Naturally, I heard pros and cons, but I know I can't please everybody, so our age category of these concerts has been changing the last couple of years, and we're getting some younger people down there. And people who are attending those that I actually had never thought that I would ever attend concerts down in the park. So I think that was a positive thing, and it was great. Jack April, he started these concerts over 35 years ago. Jeff Veronica, along with myself, have kept the concerts going. This year we headed them by myself, so that makes it over like 40 plus years that we've been having these concerts in the park. If funding is available for 2024 budget, I just want you to know that I will once again these if you so wish. I'd like to get started on this earlier, like November, but I know everything that's presently going on in the city, that's not possible, okay? So even if I get started in sometime in January, I spoke with Dan Wallace, who did sound again. He's on board with doing it for 2024. We want him. And I'm kind of asking that we get a little bit of a number. Don't faint over this, right? Maybe like $8,000 in the budget for it. All right, now that's, when I say $8,000, doesn't mean I'm going to spend $8,000, okay? I know how to deal with these people, and, you know, I can get their figures down a little bit, you know, but I would like to have that little bit of a cushion just in case. I want to keep the concerts at 10 concerts. Before we were doing 11, I want to keep them at 10, and I want to base it on if we're going to have community days again this year, starting them once I find out when community days is going to be, starting it like the week after, sort of like we did this year. But I think community days this year was a week later or so. So, and that being said, I hope we can keep these things going, because I think it's a good thing for the community. There's other communities around here like Punxsutawney, Brockway that have them, and I just think it's a good thing for our citizens and the people in the area. So thank you.
Thanks, Danny. And Danny, on a side note, I'd like to really thank you for spearheading that again this year.
You're welcome.
You did a wonderful job.
Yes, thank you.
Hundreds of compliments about it. Anybody else?
Mayor, before we go any further, I would like to ask that we add to the agenda Mr. Sapusio's employment status.
Okay. Is that in the form of a motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Diane's asking for us to add an agenda item tonight, the employment status of City Manager Harsh Police. Is there a second on that motion? To add it to the agenda.
Oh, is that what she said? Okay, a second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor properly seconded to add an agenda item tonight, Mr. Splicio's employment status. Any questions on the motion? Okay, we'll move that into right now. We'll handle that right now. Is there any?
If you like.
You have the floor, Ms. Bernardo.
Well, reluctantly, I make the motion that we terminate Mr. Sapusio's employment with the City of DuBois effective before August the 31st of 2023.
August 21st.
That's a Friday.
Thursday. Okay, Thursday, August 31st. You see at 9-1 then, Diane. At 9-1.
9-1, good. 9-1.
Is there a second on Ms. Bernardo's motion to terminate Mr. Splicio's employment with the City of DuBois at 9-1? We have a motion on the floor, please second, to end Mr. Splicio's employment with the City of DuBois effective 9/1/2023. Questions on the motion? Commissioners?
What I'm really concerned about is him asking for a pension buyout. If it happens, there's no way for us to get to top his pension. He's committed without his pension is gone. He gets a payout from that. If we allow that, you're not going to be able to get that back. You guys think that the $250,000 payout is a lot? That could be $500,000, $750,000 out of the pension fund, which it can afford.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm not really understood. I'm clear, I'm just,
Yeah.
okay. So you're saying what? Again, I just understood.
Do you have any information on the pension?
Yes, I'm familiar with a similar situation where termination and we can restrict the individual from taking the pension.
A buyout or just a normal pension?
It was the normal pension, they roll it over into their own. We cannot hold the pension, we terminated the individual.
No.
Yeah, we can't hold it once they're terminated, it's theirs to roll over into another
But there is an injunction not to pay
qualified plan or IRA or whatever.
That's just a temporary injunction.
So while he's still employed, you still have control of that pension.
I hate to say it, but I'd like to keep them on for that reason.
because of the injunction.
Yeah, because you don't know if that's permanent.
Yeah.
I mean, you could terminate him today, the injunction could fall away, and he could get his pension, and we'd never see a bit of that money. And the pension fund is already, I didn't want to, not the place to bring it up, but it's not in good shape. I'll talk about that later, but that's a real big concern, guys.
Okay, any other questions on the motion? Okay, we'll have a vote on the motion.
Deeds.
Please say no.
Come on, Shane.
Yes.
All right, please.
Bernardo.
Our injunctions have got current.
Diane.
Yes.
Akaba.
Come
Come on, Jim.
I'm trying to still understand. I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
That's fine. Okay, so he gets terminated, and I don't know if this is a place to talk or not, but if he gets terminated, okay, he can claim his pension. There's nothing we can do to stop it. He could get a one-time buyout, am I right?
Mr. Mayor, may I just a quick comment?
Go ahead.
Ed Angelonis, DuBois. How about a third-party legal opinion on the ramifications of termination, I think would be.
Mr. Reesinger is.
That's what I would suggest. I'm not an expert either.
There was talking over there, I didn't quite hear that again, so.
I just suggested a third-party legal, third-party outside unbiased legal opinion. I'm not an expert in this area, but I think the council would need to know the ramifications, the legal ramifications of doing so.
Yeah, because I was understanding.
Yeah, especially when, Jim, if you're not sure, and nobody's 100% sure, I think.
Upset last time, and now trying to terminate him to move forward, and it just.
It needs some clarification.
It confuses the hell out of me, I'll just say it. You know?
Yeah. I'd say take a breath and let's get some expert opinion. You can do it in 2 weeks if it's okay.
I'll just abstain. I can't make my mind up. Now, I'm here.
Reesinger.
No.
Walsh.
No.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, we'll handle this in 2 weeks after we get some legal opinions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, number 6, request to change the public hearing set for Monday, August 28th at 5:30 p.m. to Monday, September 25th at 5:30 concerning the intermunicipal liquor license transfer from Art Restaurants, LLC, 1802 Daisy Street, Clearfield, to Public House on Jard, LLC, 29 South George Street.
Yep, changes being requested at so the applicant can be in attendance. They're not available the other days that we could do it, and we could not have it ready for the 28th with the public advertisement.
Okay, so we're gonna move to,
So the 25th, everybody can be here, we can get it properly advertised, and it'll work with their schedule.
okay, very good. So council's wishes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion on the floor, properly second, to move the public hearing from August 28th to Monday, September 25th for the intermunicipal liquor license transfer from Arc Restaurants to the Public House. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Akaba.
Yes.
Reisinger. Walsh.
Yeah. Number 7, request the council appoint retired employee 10 boards to the pension committee. Council wishes.
Approve.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor, properly second, to appoint Edwards to the pension committee. Questions on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Akaba.
Yes.
Reisinger.
Yeah.
Walsh.
Yes. Number 8, let's vote delegate and alternate for the 2023 Municipal Leadership Summit in October 5th, 8th, held at the Wind Creek Hotel in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Diane's done this for years, familiar with things like that, COVID time, we didn't have a lot of that, but, make a motion for Diane Bernardo to be the vote delegate, this year's some.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have motion on the floor, properly second, to appoint Bernard to the voting delegate for the Municipal Leadership Summit, held October 5th to 8th at the Winter Creek Hotel in Bethel, Pennsylvania. Questions on the motion?
There have to be an alternate, but it said how I get an alternate.
You can't have an alternate, it's hard to have an alternate.
Which I can have, make sure.
I mean, it's gonna be in January first, probably. I don't see any spending the money on her.
You can bring back information from that to everybody, which she normally does. She brings back that information and shares it with the council. You have to go as an alternate, you can both go.
I'd like to say something. I used to go, we represent the city of DuBois as a voting delegate. I got the vote. It is fantastic. There's so much, and so much for our ladies. They asked 1 year to go as a controller, and they asked me to be one of the controllers convention, but our controller position is not, it's just a position to over the bill. It's, we don't have any control like most controllers. We don't see that. So I couldn't really run the controller's convention, although all we need to. It was fantastic for our city.
Okay, we, motion on the floor. Is there- Motion on the floor, properly second, send in to the leadership, the municipal leadership, Summit, October 5th, 8th, at the Window Hotel, Beth. Any questions on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
No.
Walsh.
Yes. Number 9, the Library Keystone Committee's grant program permission to bid the HVAC. Christopher?
Yeah, the grant they have is in the city's name, so we need to give them authorization. They're going to be upgrading their HVACs.
Council's wishes.
I'll make that motion. Chris, you do that. I mean, are you the one that does it?
We do not.
Okay.
No, we oversee it for them to make sure they have everything, but they have their own people do it.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion on the floor, property second, to approve the Keystone Committee grant program and gave them permission to bid the HVAC replacement at the library. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo. Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Number 10, recommendation, Coke Hill Area Water Distribution Main Replacement Project. Christopher?
I recommend, we reject the bids. They were much higher than the available funding we had, so we're gonna have to go seek out additional funds in a way of grants for that. Hopefully we can put that back out on the street in the spring if we're able to identify the funding source.
Very good. Thank you. Any motion on the floor? Council's wishes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the recommendation to not do the Coke Hill Water Distribution Replacement Project this year and hopefully get the grant funding to do it in the spring. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes.
Yeah, just one thing on it, I mean, we rejected many bids in the past on different projects and stuff like that, so when things come in high, stuff like that, we don't have the funding, and usually go back and see what other funding resources you can get, different ways of doing some things. I know, done a good job.
We tried to do this one with our own capital funds. We don't have that amount in our capital budget, so we need to get assistance.
Okay, number 11, recommendation, purchase additional zone scan leak loggers in the amount of $163,823.22. We have an SRBC grant of $131,220, and our local match would be $32,603.
I'll make that motion.
Oh.
That's a good, go ahead.
It is a good program. We have 186 loggers out there. Now they listen around 3 a.m. in the morning for weeks. We have significant cutback of our unaccounted water, amount of water that through the pipe that we aren't able to sell. So just keep reducing that. To these rules, we identify leak in a neighborhood, we can't pinpoint it. We can move a half dozen or so of these into that area. So this will continue to benefit us, more economical in our distribution.
And then this was, you know, how many years ago, was that with DEP back and said about, you know, how much, what water comes out of the plant. This is how much we, water we account for and reduce that.
Water, they want us to be at 20% or less. We're about 30% at one time. We're down to about 18% right now. Hopefully they will keep cutting.
And there's a computer in his office that you can see the leaks day to day. It's pretty amazing. Pretty.
We track leaks so that we know what lines to go through to replace water lines. If we see a bunch of leaks on a specific line, obviously that indicates where we'll be spending our resources.
So council wishes.
I made a motion.
Oh, so is there a second motion?
Second.
Motion on property stand to purchase the additional zoning and legal block protection loggers in the amount of $163,823.22. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dees.
Yes.
Bernard. Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Singer. Wall.
Yes. Number 12, an annual request from the DuBois High School to close business street at Beach Drive 45, approximately 45 minutes on September 29th for their homecoming parade. Bill Stingy, Chief, any problems with that again this year?
No, it always works out well since we've got typically walking horse instead of someone performing. But they've last couple of years have done a fantastic job. It's nice. It is.
Council's decision.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the request from the school to close Division 3, 45 minutes for September 29th for the homecoming parade. Questions on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Singer. Wall.
Yes. Authorization to purchase a fire truck. Chief, you got the floor.
Essentially, we're replacing people's engines out there. I think it was a grant we did or awarded. Correct. We just need approval from council to move forward with that, the purchase.
So the fire truck is $567,879. DCD grant you referenced came in last week, $400,000. So the fire department share will be $167,879.
The fire department.
Yeah, the fire department thing, and I know in the last 3 trucks, a piece of equipment we got, I know 4th Ward, most of that was paid for by the hospital.
Yeah, the last few were paid for by the hospital.
And I think,
Good CDBG funds involved in the last 3 as well.
Goodwill, friendship, grant, they donated quite a bit of money to, ladder truck. I called them too, and I don't have a concrete number, I was, called 2 or exceeded $1 million that they donated towards, our equipment cities. That was a good thing and good cost savings there also.
Council wishes.
Can I ask a question about the fire truck?
Let's get through this first. Go ahead. Council wishes.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor properly second to authorize the purchase of fire truck. To give the fire department authorization to purchase the fire truck. Any questions on the motion? We'll vote on the motion.
Dees.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaugh.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes.
Does Sandy Township need?
I will entertain your question. I mean, we're not supposed to, but I will.
I'm sorry, but if we're Sandy and DuBois is merging and all these firehouses are all gonna come together, why would we buy a new fire truck if all the firehouses are gonna be?
Because we need it right now, because Goodwill's truck is pretty
That
bad.
truck is almost 30 years old.
I'm not saying, don't do it, I'm just saying, why, you know.
As far as the merger with the fire department, nothing said that we have a plan moving forward, but we're going to just start from scratch again.
I love the fire.
Okay, moving on. 14, trees. Patrick,
So, we have 15 trees coming from the state. We need to plant those in public lands, which when we get them, we'll get Scott from Penn State. Extension will help with that. Redevelopment has decided to buy 7 trees at the cost of $500 a tree to put in the private lots on Maple Avenue. The people I sent out a mailer. We had 7 people say that we can put a tree in their yard, so we're gonna pay for that and put the trees in their yards. Redevelopment is, okay? Any questions about trees? Okay.
Bring something up that I might have, we talked about it before, about having our forester come in and talk. Mr. Jones, you had some questions about, you know, the cutout on the watershed that we do, and very, very knowledgeable man.
And I'd like to talk to him
Yeah,
about, because I don't know anything about
that
forestry.
is going to happen, to have some more information to share with them.
I did talk to Mr. Kane about that, and I'm gonna arrange for one of the meetings, hopefully in September, he can come down and educate us all on forest management at the reservoir.
Okay, number 15, pension plan.
I've been doing some extensive research on the pension plan. Dave was right. I talked to Dave before we came to the meeting about it. Our actuary. Give me a second. There's a lot of paper here. Hands on
I had
that
it
one.
right on top.
I did have it on top. Anyway, the actuary that's going to be coming in real recent is going to be at 8% assumed interest rate that we would get on our pension is 58% funded. That's very poor, and that's at 8%. I have asked several times, like 4 times, for 7, 7.5, and 8. Today I asked for with a 3% increase in pay over those years. I have yet to get that. The one that's coming is going to be a 58, and the MMO is 766.
Yep.
761.
Preliminary numbers that we received Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
We do have a pension committee meeting scheduled for September 8th. So we'll get a little more concrete information then, and can, with them to face some dialogue, but we are looking into the pension. It's something that needs to be addressed, obviously. We'll ask that up. I have been in touch with him, invited him to the meeting on the 8th as well. So we are working on pension. It's not being ignored.
The uniform one for the police is in very good shape. Daily, is it 6 1/4, 6.5? It's like a 90% at very low interest rate. It's in very good shape.
You mean the assumed interest?
Yeah, the assumed.
6
Okay.
or 6.5, it's at a reasonable.
It's
the other one's
7 or below.
outrageous.
I mean, it's a decent amount. It's the non-uniform, the ones for all the other city workers. It's in trouble. I know there was a couple letters, and we should get a report from S&T very soon on the, S&T runs the police pension. Okay, and there's another firm that runs the workers, city workers. I would ask that we move that from 8 this year to 7.5. I think moving it to 7 is just too much in 1 year, but I think we should move that to 7.5. And we talked to a financial advisor that suggested that to us. That would make the city have to pay more money in, but they're gonna have to sooner or later anyway. So let's get ahead of the game, shore up the pension plan, and make it good for all the workers that are gonna retire and the ones that have retired. There was no, when the change was made, there was no actuarial report done that I'm aware of. Okay?
We'll investigate, see what we can find.
We'll see what we can find.
And then the other thing, on the board, the pension board, the way that was made up, I'm pretty sure it was through an ordinance.
It is, yes.
Okay, so
I
it is
checked that
through an
today.
ordinance, and then, so we have to get that changed, because, you know, talking, there should be a financial.
There should be a financial advisor on our pension
that
board.
for.
I mean, I did this research, but I'll know you know, I'm no expert or anything, I'm just asking
I
a
need
whole
an
lot of
expert to
questions.
come in to explain this a little bit better, so.
Yeah. We need somebody, at least either a CPA, somebody familiar with pensions, or a financial advisor on it. I don't know how to get started with 4 minutes.
May I have a question? When was the last time pension committee met?
2019.
Prior
Prior, but we're meeting on the
December, yep.
The ordinance that you have, is that seen annually, biannually, how,
At least once a year.
once a year?
We do have some issues we need to address. I'd like to gather all the information.
Yeah, it's not.
I'll get a recommendation for you on how to set orders so we can have people, we can invite guests. For the September 8th, we will have guests that can assist us, our committee, in assessing the information we get from the.
Yeah, and it's not terrible, because we have time.
Yeah.
Time's on our side in 20 years' time. We can just be fixed. I don't want to scare anybody or anything like it. It's good that it was identified and it can be fixed.
Pat, I met Friday.
Yes.
With, gentleman, and he said that. He said it's not in good shape. He said if you start, if you break the shape now, it'll be in good shape in 2 years. But if we keep going at the rate we're going, we're in trouble. So,
right.
Very informative and very good.
Mr. Swope.
I probably shouldn't be saying this, but this is my opinion only. This does not involve any other city employee or anything like that. I would please ask that we look at all the information, get all the information you need, talk to whoever we need to before we bring this back again. Because this is giving us a bad name. It's making you guys look like you're just giving out free money. Herm was giving out free money. It's making the city employees look like a bunch of idiots. You know what I mean? And I don't want that to happen. I would appreciate for you guys to get all the information you guys need, for the community to please hold on. Please let them do the work. Please just say, yeah, there's been a lot of gossip. Some of it's not true. We know it's not true. So please let them get their information first before you start hanging us and them, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Pat, were you done?
I am done.
Number 16, Scribner Avenue parking lot. Christopher?
Yeah, we actually have a grant application in to do some parking work there, but we have parties interested in also purchasing that to improve that on their own. So to fully investigate both options, I would like to advertise that to see if we can get some interested parties to purchase that on their own and develop it. This is the parking lot across the street here, this S&T drive-through lot.
Council's wishes.
You know, make a motion to advertise that. I'll take a look at it. Doesn't mean you accept.
Correct.
So
Just separate development if we can, and want to investigate everything that's possible.
Second motion.
We have a motion for property second to authorize Mr. Suit to advertise Scribner Avenue parking lot. Bids, do we set a date on when they buy?
I'll report back on the date. I gotta make sure I get advertised, talk to Tony about the number date it has to be.
Okay, we're good. Chief, anything else? Oh. Yeah.
Bernard. Come
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Okay, Chief Bateman. Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Zachariah. Grass still on. Lisa.
Like Bob, I'd appreciate it if there was kind of the stuff out there. There's a lot going on. We're here, we're the front, answer the window. Most of the time, I mean, we're the mornings, but we're the ones, we're the faces. And we'd appreciate it, kindness. Because there's a lot, when you walk in somebody else's shoes, you just don't know. And as far as the controller, the city DuBois is very limited to what we're allowed to do. We only get the bills and we can hear the receipts. Like I said, I actually wasn't done it. It was great. Wanted me to do more, but my position, city controller, is not a full-time position. But you're, we're by you, so we take our orders, we pay the bills, that's what we do from council. And we've all done a great job of it, and if you ever have any questions, you can come to me first.
I'm current controller. I'm here. If you ever have any questions, instead of assuming that you know what I do, or assuming that maybe I'm doing something wrong, come see me. You know, I consider myself a friendly person. You know, you're welcome to call me, call the city office. They can give me a message. I'll happily call you back. If it's permitted, you can see what I do when I do it. I mean, I don't have anything to hide.
I'd like to add to that, although it doesn't have an office. And I have.
Yeah, this is my office.
And I barely have an office. I'm back there, so, well, I lost my office. They're in the front, so we don't really have full-time office, but we're here.
I missed your name in the front. You made a comment. I've been thinking about that a lot, and I thought, you know, when I walk in this room, it's filled with like negative, and there's so many nice things that are going on in this town. And like all of you new people who are going to be up here, you know, I'm sure you want to be respected and trusted, and we want to do that. But I get kind of disgusted whenever I come to these meetings, and it's all negative. So I think we all need to Melody. Listen to what Melody said, even a little bit, and you know, remember that we all live here, and we all want what's best. Thanks.
James? I'm good, thank you. Shane?
No, all good.
Said enough.
Ms. Bernardo?
No, but Eddie, after you adjourn, I want to ask you a question about something I couldn't hear.
Okay, very good. Christopher?
Yep, a couple positive things. We had a new guy start in the water department today. Mike Borelli retired. It took us a while to make sure we had it in the budget. Advertised here, same touch bit of paper, but welcome Derek Heckathorn to our water crew today. Working with a group that is interested in putting together a volunteer fair. Clearfield County did that last week or 2 weeks ago now. There's a group interested here, putting together a volunteer fair. Organizations can get together in one place. People can sign up for different organizations, not just the city of DuBois, but other places to be able to give back. People looking for ways, opportunities to help out in the city. Coke Hill sewer line project is done. There are a couple little punch list checkup things they need to complete. For the most part, that's done. Division Street traffic light, the new signal is up, the old one is out. They're fixing up the radius now so that the trucks can make the turns. Hopefully they'll be out of there within a couple weeks. And the sewer plant is doing well. The treatment basins are in place. The power building's going up. The sewer work on the north side and south side of the stream is moving along well. The bridge is complete. The road's almost complete. So, yeah, we do have some good things going on.
So it's on schedule then?
It's on schedule right now. Correct. Yep.
All right, I have nothing. I'll ask for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion on the floor, property second to adjourn tonight's meeting. Any questions? We'll vote.
Dietz.
Yes.
Bernardo.
Yes.
Achenbaum.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes. Thanks, everybody.
Any chance you could turn in like $10 tomorrow?